right, good morning everybody. We're finally here. The day's arrived that you guys are able to give and present your award to Rod Chronicles on behalf of Manheim Central. And so we are going to give you some background information of how this all became a good experience for the students and how Greg has become part of our program really for the last couple months. So I'm going to give you some background information. This started all the way back in September of 2020. My daughter, who the students know, and I know administration has heard about this too, was entered into a youth pheasant hunt from my neighbor. And so we were sent a video saying that she won. We didn't kind of believe it, but we went with it. And she ended up being picked as one of the 2 contestants for the pheasant hunt. And that was back, like I said, in September, and it was with Rod Chronicles up in Laceyville, Pennsylvania. Well, since I'm usually at school and I don't take any days off, my students were kind of wondering, where did I go? What was I doing? What's so important, because I'm always here. Well, I did take a Friday, I took a half day, and I did go. I supported my daughter, first time ever. I know nothing about really hunting or anything. My family's big into it, but I didn't know anything about it. And so the photos that you see here are from the pheasant hunt. This is one of the fields when they were getting ready to go into the field. And then this one here is with 3 of the team members. Greg is here, Keith is here, and Rick is here, and then my daughter's in the middle. This is when they were shooting claybirds, and so she's at the range there, and so she was shooting, getting practice warmed up, all of that stuff. So when I came back from the hunt, the students wanted to know what I did. I went camping. I know a lot of you have that. You like to go camping with your families. And so we shared those experience, and then I decided to show them kind of what happened that weekend. So this is the youth pheasant hunt where my daughter participated with another young girl right here from Pennsylvania. And so basically this is their team here. This is Keith, there's Greg, there's Rick, the other young girl, Audra, and then Ashlyn, and of course all the pheasants that they got. Here's the 2 girls here again in front of Ring Neck Ridge. That is where the pheasant hunt happened, up in Laceyville, Pennsylvania. Of course, there's Ashlyn at the range again. Over here is the team at the end, including the dog that was in the field with them and its handler. And then, of course, this is when Ashlyn was heading back into the field to have a shoot after lunch, I believe. So the kids were really interested in seeing this, so I decided to share that with them as well. So here you will see, this is my daughter right here. This is Greg from Rod Chronicles, and there is my daughter's first pheasant that she ever shot. It's right there on the screen. And then they made this for her, and it says that Ashlyn on September 26, 2020, first ever hunt, first ever pheasant, shot with a 20 gauge pointer, Acris. Thank you. With bio ammunition, Royal Pheasant shell. So, and we actually have this getting made for my daughter on a canvas so she can hang it up in her room. So, and their logo is at the bottom there. So, all right. So that brings us to October. So we went from September to October. On October 7th, I spoke with Greg, and I decided that the district always challenges us to do something outside of our comfort zone. So this really did stretch me. The students came up with the idea of wanting to know more about what Rack and Rod does, and I didn't really know what they did either, but I looked it up and saw what they do, but I thought, well, this would be great. And since Greg has 2 different jobs, he does Rack and Rod, but he also has his own sales business that he runs, I thought, well, he could do something with careers with my students. So October 7th, I decided to give Greg a call. We were on the phone for quite a while, got something set up that he could practice with the students. So we set up a Zoom, which you see here on the side. Greg's on the screen there. The students with our great technology that we have here, and then of course at the end we got a photo with him. But on October 21st, we basically Zoomed for 2 hours. Yes, it does sound like a long time, but the students all had questions. As you can see in the photo, they were actually sitting in their desks, so they all had questions to ask him. He had the questions that they were going to ask, but not only did the students get to learn about his business, they actually were working on individual skills that they need to work on, like communication, effective communication, interview, eye contact, being able to just talk to strangers to them, but they didn't know him, they didn't really get to meet him or anything, but to be able to even just ask questions that they might not be able to ask at a business down here because it doesn't go with their job. So we kind of tiered it to Greg's 2 jobs and the team, and the students were able to find out what they do, and their inquisitiveness didn't stop there. During the presentation, we learned about the team and what they do, and how his sales job and the team, how everything kind of goes hand in hand. And then they started talking about a trip that they were going to take to Illinois, the rut hunt in Illinois. So we kept following them along with that. So that's October. And again, networking, we're supposed to network. Well, yes, the team does live 2 hours and 15 minutes from us, but I felt like it was perfect because it's a connection to our program here. And it is all on employability skills and career and jobs. So the students got some information from Greg and some great resources and what they could do for their jobs, because you all were going to be interviewing for jobs as well. So he was giving some interview tips and pointers to the students. So that was great. All right. That leads us to November, when I took another day off. But this time it was a personal day for me, which I don't usually take either. But my daughter, the team, Greg and the team decided to pull off a surprise hunt for my daughter here in Manheim on her grandparents' farm. So I took the day again. The kids had no idea where I was going because I actually was here the morning that they came to school, and then I kind of left to take my personal day. So this is my daughter Ashlyn here, and I will talk more about her in just a little bit, but she actually got a lot of neat gear donated to her from a company called Girls with Guns, which is what she's wearing there, and she also has a mister in her hand here that has scents in it that when you go hunting you use, and again this is all new to me, so she's got the cloak mister, I believe is what it was called. So that's in her hand there, and of course her attire that she wore. On the far picture there you see Greg in a Bear Nation shirt. You're probably wondering, how did Greg get a Bear Nation t-shirt? Well, not only did the students interview Greg and learn about his jobs and stuff, but we've been practicing writing skills and writing thank you notes and things like that. So the students decided that we were going to get him a Bear Nation t-shirt, and we were going to send it up to him. Well, it was dress down day here in our district, and I wore mine, and then when I got there, he kind of had his on too, so we decided to take a photo, and then the students actually have that photo as well, with an autograph on it personally for them, so they have it too, and it's behind me over there on the board, but they all have that too. So to be honest, this was one of the best personal days I've ever had, because it was a secret that I had to keep from my daughter, which was not easy. So that was, seeing her face and her reaction was priceless. And then of course this is when she was going out to the field to hunt with them and everything. Again, this is only the second time she's been out in the field. So she was learning about the crossbow here. Of course, with Greg has his hands like this, showing her about the crosses in the bow there. Getting sprayed down, and of course, that's the field there that they walked a great distance behind the barn to get to where they hunted that day. They had a great time. Ashlyn talks about it still, but she was afraid she wasn't going to be able to hunt until after Thanksgiving, so we surprised her before Thanksgiving, so which was pretty neat. Which leads us to December and January. Fast forward a little bit, and the team then did get to Zoom about the Illinois hunt and find out how Illinois went. I know, Jacob, you know that we followed it very closely. You guys kept asking, are they there yet? How many hours does it take to get there? Did they get there safely? Did anybody get anything? What did they get? So we were following the team very closely. Not only did they follow the team on their blog, but they also have had a YouTube channel that the students have watched pretty much every episode. We build it in for rewards and things like that. So Jacob's my go-to guy for that, right, Jacob? Yeah. So they basically know the team inside and out, and have been able to make that connection, which is pretty neat. But they talked about the hunt in Illinois, the rut hunt that Keith and Greg went on, and both of them were very successful. So the students had some questions and things, and we learned about G1 and G2s on the deer and what they are, and so it was pretty neat. And then that leads us to January, just a couple months ago. The students really, their wish, what was your one wish, guys?
For having Greg to come here and meet him in person.
They wanted to meet them in person. So, and the students always say they're famous because they see them everywhere. And then of course the connection that has happened because my daughter is part of their team as a youth hunter for them as well. But the kids always want to ask, well, what's the team up to? Where are they now? What are they doing? So it's kind of like I have to be in the know in order to let you guys know. So we watched all the episodes and all of that, and so Greg actually helped pull off that request where he came and we kind of played a trick on them. I told them I was going to a meeting, and I wasn't going to a meeting, I just went to the high school so they could then go there, pick me up. They were here working, and we had all these clues and everything, all dealing with things about the team and Greg, so the kids were kind of guessing me. It was Judas. He said, no, it's not me. They would be guessing everything. And the clues really, the first 7 clues all had to do with the team and Greg. So they got to surprise visit. They got to meet him. So that brings us to the January part. And then, excuse me. Oh, let's go backwards. Okay. So then that leads us, let's see here. I just want to make sure. Yep, that leads us to a special moment here at the Next Step program. Weeks had passed and the students had come to me and they kind of wanted to do something to give back to the team and to Greg for all that they had done. And so Manheim Central is big about difference makers. We are difference makers here in our district, and our sign over there says that the Barons are difference makers. Well, since I told the students I didn't know, I've never done this before, and I didn't know, what was going to happen. I said we first needed to decide what is a difference maker. What are you defining a difference maker as? And as it says here up there, it says a Manheim Central difference maker improves the lives of others, goes the extra mile each day, and recognizes that we all make a difference no matter what. And with this connection that the students have had with Greg and the team, they felt that they wanted to give back to the team for how much time and effort and energy and knowledge and everything else that they have given to them and my staff here as well. So we sat down and we decided to come up with a list of certain criteria of how this comes about. What are we gonna put on the award? What do you want to say? And so each student today has their statements on, and it also reflects on here, but I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to let them read why they think Rod Chronicles are difference makers in the eyes of the students here at Manheim. So we're going to take a minute and we're going to talk about each one of the students telling the team what they think they are a difference maker for.